Hey man, welcome to everything football 62. John, I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, aka Uncle Tex, aka Professor Tex. Kat asked me was I going to do a show about this some of this Hall of Fame business because y'all know I'll be all up on that, and plus I talked about that the last show, and I am starting to realize and figure out that you have a difference, like I said, what Dion said, and everybody kind of joked it off, but you have the Hall of Fame, you have the Hall of Game. This particular class, man, Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Game. And we're going to jump right into it right now. I'll go into first pick, one of the guys, Brian Young from San Francisco 49ers. Good, very good. His best year was he was 24. He had 11.5 sacks and 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. That was his year. Next time he made All-Pro, because the first time he did in 96, well, he never made All-Pro again. He was named the Pro Bowl back in 3 years later, 99. After 99, then it was down to 2001, 2002. They won a Super Bowl. When I think of all-time defensive tackles, I'm sorry, I don't think of Brian Young. Very good player. Him and Stubblefield, they did what they did. Really nothing else to be said. I don't get goosebumps when I think of Brian Young. I don't think of him in the same light as Warren Sapp, Randy White, Marilyn Olsen, Joe Green, even Aaron Donald. Bob Lilly. I don't think of him in that light. That's Hall of Game. You know what I'm saying? Like, go back to what Dion said. You want to put him in the Hall of Fame? Fine. But, it's like, are you guys lowering the bar for these guys to come in? So I don't really think of him like that, but you want to put him in the Hall of Fame, it's your business. Leroy Butler. Hell of a safety. 93, that was 93. He had 96, 97, 98. That was his years. After 93, 94, 95, he didn't do anything from that time there. But 96, 97, 98, he was that. I mean, we can probably say, okay, maybe I can give him a little something. I don't think of him as Troy Polamalu, the great Ed Reed, Ronnie Lott. I don't think of him in that light. I don't think of him as a Larry Wilson. People say, Larry Wilson, what are you talking about with Larry Wilson? Larry Wilson was the inventor basically, the way it went on with him, the inventor of the what's it called, the safety blitz. And you talking about somebody that 66, 67, 68, 69, 70 for about a 5-year span where he was the guy, right? When these guys was the guy, I don't think of Leroy Butler in that essence. I don't think of him that way. You know what I'm saying? That might be like, oh man, you tripping, but I'm like, nah, I ain't tripping. I'm just saying that's, again, you want to say he's Hall of Fame, that's fine. Hall of Game, no. He's not somebody I would go pay and say, if you want to talk about the Lambeau leap and all that shit, that's fine. But that is not how I look at him. I don't look at him in that light as them guys there. Right? I just don't. We keep moving. Another defensive tackle, Richard Seymour. Richard Seymour had 57.5 sacks. Now, like I said, Warren Sapp was talking to Rich Eisen the other day, last week I believe, and was just basically going on saying, okay, why didn't Bill let this guy go and just let him play? 57.5 sacks? That ain't hitting on nothing, man. That really is not hitting on what he's supposed to do. Again, his years 24, 25, 26, 2003 to 2005. He was on, let me see, 3-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. That's nice. That's good. if you want to say you want to put him in the Hall of Fame, that's fine. But that 57.5 sacks, that don't do it for me. That don't do it for me. But again, you want to put him in the Hall of Fame, that's fine. He's in the Hall of Fame. You got him in the Hall of Fame. He's not that guy where he dominated for years. And even when he dominated from 2003, 2004, 2005, 6, 7, 8, where's them years at? So he's on the team that won Super Bowl, so it's like, okay, well, I'm going to go and get that. Well, then in that case, they put Willie McGinnis in. Even going back to Brian Young, we're going to put Daniel Stubblefield in. Because he was Defensive Player of the Year one year. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. Let's keep moving. Even if we talk about a guy like Howie Long, 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro first team. Right? It's kind of the. I guess my thing of it is, man, it depends on the era that you played in. You got to give yourself, even in the midst of that, you got to be on some shit where it's just like, okay, well, they did this, that in their era, and give them that era, and then start comparing them to the other guys and what them other guys did. You start talking about Doug Atkins and all them other guys and this, that, and the third. Hey, man, it's like some of these guys don't even live up to that. John Randall was a defensive tackle. I say, when you start thinking about that, defensive tackle, even down to John Randall. John Randall had 137 sacks, man. He's a DT. He's an interior lineman. First ballot Hall of Famer. As what he was supposed to be. Look at his stats. From 93 to 98. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 years in a row. Guys don't do that. Brian Young ain't do that. Richard Seymour ain't do that. None of them guys did that. He didn't win the Super Bowl. Big deal. I mean, it is what it is. You know, like I said, man, and so we go to Dick Vermeer as a coach. And if you're into the crime thing and all this other kind of stuff, 15 years, 229 victories, 120 losses, 1 Super Bowl. Go on, put him in if you're going to put him in. But this is what I'm talking about. The difference between, whenever Bill Belichick calls it a day, that's it. So what you going to do next? So if Sean McVay retires, you're going to just give him that of a nod because he won the Super Bowl? Come on, man. This is the difference. Then you have Tony Burcelli. You got Tony Burcelli in the Hall of Fame, but Sterling Sharp is not in the Hall of Fame. How is, because, well, the guys, they were great and they got derailed because of their injuries or whatever. I already broke it down. Go back and look. I got a whole show where I talked about Tony Burcelli and why I was like, nah. But you want to put him in the Hall of Fame? You can go and put him in the Hall of Fame. He does not belong in the Hall of Game. A lot of these guys, not the Hall of Game. No. Not even in the slightest bit belong in the hallway. I'm going to go pay to go see them guys. Burcelli was like that. But I broke down to you about Willie Roaf, right? I want to say Jonathan Ogden, and them guys of that nature. Somebody else I'm missing. I know I'm missing. I can't just think of his name right off the top of my head. But them guys, man, them guys played for like over a decade. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you got where he didn't fulfill all of that, and them other guys did, and they became first ballot Hall of Famers. But you keep, Burcelli. Well then, if you're going to put Burcelli in, you got to put Sterling Sharp in. And Sterling Sharp was going to be a Hall of Game. Injuries messed up his career. That's what happened with him. So, so again, that's my little rant on that when it comes to that, because it's like them guys do not, belong that in the Hall of Fame the way a lot of these other guys are put in the first ballot Hall of Famers. Hall of Fame, Hall of Game. Yeah, you pick whichever one you want to pick, but that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. So like I said, them guys them guys, some of them guys, absolutely, this is a Hall of Fame class. And I'll let you know when it's a Hall of Game class. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, Hall of Fame class. Like I tell you guys all the time, like I said, smash the like button, subscribe to the page, share. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I tell you guys all the time, there's no greatest of all time, as long as time is still going on. And this is a Hall of Fame class, but it's not a Hall of Game class. We'll holler at you guys later. You know what I'm saying? Guys, have a good one.